Okay. Recording. Yep. Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Hive Mind, the British Hive Mind, with me, David Wolfe. And this episode was supposed to be yesterday's episode, but due to unforeseen circumstances, I wasn't able to do the show yesterday. My apologies to everyone. So, yeah, this episode we discussed on the last episode, which was the food industry. Food, glorious food, or poisonous, cancerous poison. Because a lot of the food we consume today is pre-packaged, buy it from the shelf, bish, bash, bosh, nice and easy. Some of it, stick it in the microwave, stick it in the oven, and have done with it. A lot of the actual cooking is being done for us. The food, the ingredient selection is being done for us. But who is it being done by? I know there's regulations and things in place, but as we all very well know, the regulations are not in our favour. The regulations are more company policies or government mandated regulations that allow for these poisons, for these processes, for these things to be used against the general populace, against the people, because we all have to eat. Day in, day out, we all have to eat. No matter what you eat, you have to eat. So from what I see, a lot of people, a lot of shops, there's big supermarkets, Tesco's, Asda's, even down to Aldi's, Lidl's, and all of those. They only seem to stock processed food, or they only seem to stock food that's pre-packaged, premeditated, put there as I've got a problem with the storage on there. All right, well, I was going to try and record the show as well on my phone, but it doesn't have enough memories. Gosh darn it! Right, so let's cancel that off, because not being able to go live on Facebook and not being able to properly archive the show so I can spread it over multiple platforms, it's very difficult to get it from YouTube onto my computer. So, other ways to try and block block us from spreading the word and telling the news and telling the world for what it really is, taking off the rose-tinted spectacles and seeing, well, actually, the things that are supposed to be there to protect us and make our lives better and make our lives easier are being used against us. And when it comes down to food, it's the amount of ingredients that they're putting into the food that aren't natural, totally unnatural. The worst aspect of this, the worst part of this, is the artificial sweetener. It's been proven fact that it's a poison. It's been proven fact that it's addictive. It's proven fact that it's carcinogenic. It's proven fact that it should not be in our food at all. However, through, I think it was the US politics, they snuck it in. They managed to get aspartame. It should be synonymous, should be famous by now. Everybody should know about the chemical aspartame, and all of its derivatives, because these sweeteners were proven to cause cancer and were still let to go into the food because of big business and big money. Big money. The lobbyists were able to get hold of the people in politics at the time. I'm not sure exactly which president it was, but because he owed someone certain favours, they had to put aspartame as a edible chemical, a chemical that you can now put into food. And moving a step further than that, now in Britain, they're talking about introducing the sugar tax. Yes, we all know that sugar is not particularly good for you in its most refined form. You know, white castor sugar that we use a lot is being demonized. It's being completely and utterly demonized by our political elites, by our political establishment, to be something that the natural, the unnatural version, the chemical version of sweetener, sugar, is the better option, when quite clearly through scientific research that has been done, it's one of the worst things you can consume. So they're going to keep...
Aspartame is horrid.
Yeah, I've just been doing a bit of a brief intro to that. And the fact that the sugar tax is coming in now, that's going to start forcing companies to use aspartame and aspartame and artificial sweeteners so they can get around the sugar tax. When, quite simply, if they didn't put so much chuffing sugar in it in the first place, we wouldn't really have this problem. You know, the world has got a sweet tooth. Everything's got to be sweet nowadays. Well, a lot of things have to be sweet nowadays. A lot of even, savoury things like baked beans. They pump full of sugar to make it taste a bit nicer, make it a bit more palatable. But we'll see them regulating, putting in regulations to affect the way we buy, to affect the way we think, and to affect everything that we do. Regulations regulating our lives, which is an extremely fascist ideology, a very fascist way to do things, a very fascist way to control the populace, is by putting in regulations, more regulations upon more regulations, to strangle small business, because what sort of small producer can compete when the regulations are in place? Especially, and with employment regulations nowadays, people are having to put people onto these disgusting 0-hour contracts because the regulations are too red taped, too locked in place to give people the full-blown proper contract. And it's
not only that, it also helps to make you dependent on the state.
Yeah, the state dependency that they like to jump to push at us. So it's not only the state dependency, it's also the negative connotations with it as well. Because a lot of part of the culture and a lot of part of the dictated narrative is, lazy dole dosses, lazy unemployed people, they can get a job, they can work, yeah. When it's a lot more complicated and a lot more difficult than that. And especially in the area where I am, there's a heck of a lot of unemployment. There's a lot of unemployment for specific reasons as well. But then maybe that's a whole topic for a whole nother show. But back onto the main topic, which is food. Because, like I've said, we all have to eat. But we all have the choice of what we eat, what we choose to eat. But with all the tax regulations, all the corporate regulations, and all the time regulations, because they're even regulating how much time of the day we get to ourselves as well, is practically forced.
You have to work a certain amount of hours to earn a certain amount of money, just so you can pay your bills.
Pay your bills, pay your tax, and then you're left with
pittance.
Yeah, pittance to try to feed yourself, to try to feed your family, and to try to live a normal life, And you go to the shop and it's got on one hand one product which is £1, it's full of additives, full of preservatives, full of things that aren't particularly good for you. And then on the other hand, you've got a product that's the same sort of product, but it's the organic version or the more expensive version of it, because it doesn't have all the products and all the chemicals in it. But that's £2.
It's crazy, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
The less you have in your product, the more it costs.
As a general rule of thumb, yeah. Yeah, because it doesn't have all the preservatives in it to keep it on the shelf for 5 weeks.
And then 10 years in your cupboard.
Yeah, 10 years in your cupboard because you don't want to eat it. You bought it because you saw it had a nice packaging.
So, like, a packet of strawberries, or a panette, sorry.
Yep.
Costs around $2.50.
For a punnet of strawberries, yeah. Probably.
And that's what? But just over 500 grams normally, isn't it?
Something like that. Yeah. Enough for maybe 1 or 2 decent servings.
Yeah. And then you buy 4 chocolate bars for £1.
Yeah. Which one's being promoted to you? The healthy fruit and vegetables or the unhealthy chocolates? It
makes no sense, literally.
Well,
it's not cost effective to eat healthy as such.
It's not.
If it is somewhat like, for me, I buy organic and I buy a lot of vegetables and stuff like that. I'm a vegan, so I buy a varied amount of products. If I don't go to a wholesale food place, it's very expensive.
Well, and even, your local market or is there any local fruit and veg shops anymore?
Don't have a local fruit and veg, no local butcher, nothing.
No. These small independent businesses are being trounced by the marketplace because they want to sell the healthier, better products that are more natural and better for the people. Whereas the corporate entities, they don't give a damn about their customers as long as they keep purchasing from them. They don't give a flying chuff about the farmers either, as long as they get it for a cheap enough price that they can put it on their shelves for a cheaper price and beat the competition that way. They've got no, how can I put it, no mandate, no accountability to either the producer or the customer. They're just the massive conglomerate middleman that makes all the profit. And it seems like the more...
Also on the food subject, you have the EU who have the food standards. And say with a banana, they actually have a template of a banana that if it doesn't fit that template, it gets thrown away.
Yeah.
Why are we throwing perfectly good fruit and veg or everything away? Either they say throw away their food than to give it to the homeless.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw with what was it? That Hugh Whittenstall. Hugh Fairley Whittenstall, then I think it was him that he went around all the supermarkets and saw all of the produce that they just threw away. They didn't even put it back into the system, because I'm sure there's some sort of food producer that needs a load of wonky carrots, or a lot of carrots that can be used instantly like that don't have to have a home shelf life.
Please tell me that a restaurant cares whether their carrots are straight or not, because they're going to chop them.
They don't. I, for one, didn't care when I run my kitchen.
What do you do with carrots?
Peel them, cut them, boil them, or serve them raw. Peel them up, cut them up. You don't give someone a wonky carrot on their plate, do you? Say, there you go, sir.
A whole carrot. No. Have this whole potato. If a potato is not quite to standards, well, you're going to peel it anyway.
Yep.
And I quite like having odd sized roast potatoes. Well, even if you just do
like little baked potatoes. They're nice as well because you get quite a lot of jacket with them. And I like the jacket. The jacket's the best bit.
Well, the most nutrients in the jacket.
Yeah, that's it. You know, and it's a lot of what's going on with all foods. You know, you throw away the most nourishing part of it, which is the skin.
Yeah,
but,
and for me, I don't throw my said scraps of vegetables and that away in the bin. I throw them. I put them out in the garden. I've got a compost heap as well. This is what people really need to do.
Well, it starts by education and a shift in culture, a shift in paradigm, a shift in the narrative.
It's quite funny because on a lot of our talks and our shows, and even after the show and stuff like that, everything we say always comes down to education.
Well, how do you change the thoughts of people? Well, how do you change the thoughts of people? Come on. But it's kind of true. How do you change the culture? How do you change the information that people have received?
It's not even changing it. It's just making people aware of the information that's out there, and pleading with them, because you can't, the only thing you can do is just ask them to go and inform themselves. If they don't want to, then they don't want to. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Like for me, I've said to people about it vast amount of subjects, and people are just like, "Oh, I don't care, rah rah rah." I'm happy being where I am. I was like, "But are you happy?" I was like, "When you go to the doctors, do you moan?" He was like, "Well, it takes ages to get in," and blah, blah. I was like, "Well then, the system is not making you happy."
Yeah, the system's broken.
Find out why. I have my view on why and my opinion on why. Go and find your own.
Yeah, don't rely on somebody else to tell you what's wrong. You got
to think for yourself.
You got to get out there. Got to have a look around and absorb extra information, because a lot of the information that we get and a lot of information that we receive is done on purpose to put these seeds into our mind that they develop into the trees of our thoughts. Whereas if you're only planting one seed or one type of plant, you're only going to have that tree in your mind. Whereas if you plant a nice orchard of different varying trees, you'll have a lot of different fruits to pick from.
Yeah.
But like we keep saying, that you can't force feed people the red pill. And, there's going to be people that are watching this show that are going to be, eating McDonald's and stuff like that. Look, we're not trying to get at you. We're not trying to say, "Oh, you're wrong," and nag at you for that. It's just
making you aware of what's actually in it and what we found.
Yeah, and it's like, look, we're
giving you the other side of the coin.
Yeah. And we're not trying to get at people. We're not trying to say that you're wrong and we're right. It's not like that. It's like there's different ways.
Views and opinions.
Yeah, sharing views and opinions and trying to show people that, look, there is a different way. There is a different way of thought. There is a different pathway to go down, especially when it comes to food, because a lot of...
It's where your energy comes from.
Yeah. It's your nourishment. It's the engine. It's the oil in your engine. It's the fuel inside your engine. And if you're feeding your engine crap food, you're not going to feel good. The engine's going to break down a lot quicker.
So if you feed your car, if you've got a diesel car and you put petrol in it, it's not going to do so good.
That's it.
You need to put diesel in there.
Yeah. You've got to put diesel in there, and you've got to, maintain it as well. So if you've left the diesel in there for 3 years whilst it's been sat there doing nothing, guess what? You might just have to take all the diesel out and put new diesel in. Yeah.
So a good way of putting that into an analogy for people to use is fast.
Yeah, I think I'm going to actually
and do intermittent fasting. You don't have to fast for 40 days or anything like that.
No, it's just start with 12. Start basically.
Do
12 hours.
So I'll give an instance. If you eat, say, latest of 8:30, and then don't eat again until 11 o'clock the next day, but make sure you a litre of water from when you've woken up to 11 o'clock, and then have your first meal, you'll find that your body will then start going, oh, I'm not getting any food or fuel in this time, so I need to burn off the fuel that I have. So the stored fats.
Yeah, but there's a different side to the coin with that as well, because if you do fast and do fast too regularly, your body says, all right then, I'm not eating enough. I have to store the food that I have and the food that I do consume and store that as fat.
That's why you do it only for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So you'd only do intermittent fasting for like 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks to a month.
I'd say build up to it. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
Build up to it. Build up to a 24-hour or a 48-hour fast, and maybe do that once every 2 or 3 months.
No, you don't have to do that.
Well, that's how I do it.
It's a very good way. It's a very good way of doing it. But I'm like giving another. So for me, when I say eating fat pockets, I'm talking for people who want to lose weight.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people out there nowadays want to lose weight.
So for losing weight, a very good way is to do the intermittent fasting and eat plant-based foods more regularly, and exercise.
Well,
that would simply do it.
Yeah, you see a lot of people nowadays.
Also, I wouldn't jump into fasting. I would do intermittent fasting. So for 1 day, for build up to it. 1 day, then 2 days, then 3 days, then 4, then 5. And you can build up to it. Get your body used to it. And then, and like you said, with completely fasting, a very good thing with that is to go, when you're going on to your fast, is to have plant-based foods. So have like lots of vegetables, fruits, stuff like that.
Well, the thing is,
and then when you come in off of your fast, do the exact same thing, but at a slower rate. Because when you fast and then you suddenly eat again, your body goes into shock and it can do that adverse effect of what you want it to do.
Yep, very true with that. And especially with a fast, you don't particularly want to be eating red meat before you fast.
No.
Because that will stay inside you and rot inside you, and it's not good.
At least 30 days before.
You want to have that cleared out.
Red meat.
Yeah, you want to have...
I would honestly stop eating meat 30 days before completely.
Well, a lot of our viewers might find that quite difficult, but it's the way to do it. It is a way to do it. And the great benefits of a fast is it does help your immune system. Your immune system will...
gets the toxins out of your body.
Yeah, gets the toxins out of your body. Your immune system will start firing on all cylinders. And, when it's coming up to cold and flu season, you'll be pretty much impervious to it. These things that the doctor's not going to tell you. The pharmaceutical companies aren't going to tell you this. Yeah.
I have done a 5-day water fast. And nothing but water for 5 days. And my tongue started going white. And that was toxins coming out of my body. And I've also done sub-intermittent fasting, which is where I only had 1 meal a day.
I've done that quite a lot.
And I've done that for about 3 weeks. That mainly because of my Crohn's disease. I actually couldn't eat, in all honesty.
Well, I did it a lot when I was in Spain. Where you would drink a lot of water, 2, 3, 4 liters a day easily. And
Yeah.
They're one meal of, about 7, 8 o'clock. Done. You're fine. But it'd be quite a big, quite a heavy meal,
You kind of surprisingly have had quite a lot of energy as well, don't you? When you fast. I was quite surprised. Obviously, not all the time, and you have to be careful. Like for me, when I was fasting for that amount of time where I was only having one meal a day, I was pretty much bedbound for most of it.
So you won't be using up a lot of the energy, whereas I was, walking quite a long way, working in a kitchen, working with food, and it's one of those. But you might have noticed this as a chef yourself. Is that when you're in the kitchen cooking, you don't get hungry because of the smells and the aromas and the taste.
The smells.
Yeah, it's just there in front of you all the time. You're like, yeah. Oh, I've not eaten all day today.
Exercise with a cuppa.
What was that? Sorry.
That's what I would. Most of the time when I was in the kitchen, a cigarette and a cuppa would do me fine.
Yeah, but and that's it. A lot. Yeah.
It is when you're in, and the heat in the kitchen doesn't make you feel very hungry either. You get very hot. Like for me, for a lot of my time as a chef, I was on the grill and heating up. So I was in two hottest sections you could be in.
Yep. By the grill or by the fryer, and these. Well, imagine working in Spain in the summer in a kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you pour the water in and it just comes straight back out. You pour the water in and it comes back out again. Yeah, which, my hat off to them. Every chef in Spain, in a kitchen, in the middle of summer, give the people a round of applause because I've been there and it's, Hell's Kitchen. But it's part of what you do for the love of food. We used to love it. And anyways, back to the subject of food and eating and the criminal cabal behind it. Because how many companies are there?
Who isn't behind?
How many companies are there that are behind pretty much everything that's on that shelf in the supermarket?
6.
6 to 8. Unilever. GSK. I think GSK is an arm of GlaxoSmithKline, is an arm of Unilever. Or Nestle. Nestle, that's another massive one that owns a lot of your food products, even through their subsidiary companies.
I was going to say, they've got a lot of sister companies, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, they do. That's how they do it. They have one massive umbrella company and then shell companies or subsidiary companies underneath, so they can get away with paying the taxes or paying little to no taxes. Yeah. And it's these 6 to 8 companies that are profiting massively from being the only thing available on the shelves, and wants to get that corporate monopoly on the market. They can literally put anything they want in their food, and you're still going to buy it.
So putting it into perspective, someone walking around Tesco's would generally think that although these products come from Tesco's, they would think that the people that make them would be thousands of companies. The average Joe would not think walking around Tesco's like 6 to 8 companies produce all of this.
Yep. You wouldn't think it. You'd be there with a pack of McVitie's digestives, then you'd walk over to the other side of the other side, and you'll see a can of baked beans, and you'll think, okay, they're 2 different companies. I'm not quoting this. I'm not 100% sure on the facts of this, but it's just an analogy. But 2 very different products from the single umbrella.
Well, it's the same people that produce your cakes produce your meat.
Yeah, yeah. And
It's corporatism.
yeah, it's the worst symptom of capitalism is we've moved into corporatism now, which
globalist corporatism.
Yeah, which is very much a strain of fascism, where the companies, the private entities.
In fact, it is fascism, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, well,
Mussolini's definition.
Yeah, the companies, the corporate entities own it, and they are then dictated to by the government on what they can and cannot do.
Well, or they work, or they control the government most of the time, in all honesty.
Well, yeah. Well, you see,
through the lobbying and the special interests and stuff like that.
Yep,
that's how they control them.
I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Here's 150. Here's 150 grand. There you go. There's 150 grand. Get my products on the shelves. Yeah.
Here you go, government. Here's £2 billion
that was supposed to owe you in tax.
Cannabis illegal.
Yeah.
Keep cannabis illegal, and I'll give you £2 billion a year.
Yep. And here you go. Here's this shit called spice that you can replace it with. That you've all got massive fucking shareholdings in the chemical producers that make this shite. So you're double winning, triple winning because you're killing the frigging homeless people.
Yeah, that's it, and that's their aim.
Yeah, that is their aim. That was the whole purpose of spice.
Hemp can be a savior of the world. Literally.
Yep.
And Big Pharma are going to kill the world.
Well, Big Pharma are going to make the world sick, then try to sell the antidote or something to combat the symptoms, because they don't want to cure you. They want to see you still sick, but they just don't want your symptoms to be as bad.
They don't want to remedy any ailments in any manner.
They don't.
Because there are no cures. There's only remedies. Because all of these things aren't what they say they are and what they depict them as. Whatever ailment you have, 99% of ailments can be remedied.
Yeah.
Even to a point where you'd never need pharmaceuticals or visiting the hospital.
Well,
so you lead a normal, comfortable life. You may have an ailment, but it won't cause you any grief in your life. By doing the right things, as long as our food wasn't full of chemicals and chemicals pumped in the air and all of this, there's contributing factors to remedying ailments. And I don't think it'll truly stop until the deep state are brought down.
No, I don't either. They're too powerful. They've got too many tentacles and too many pies in too many walks of life, where their resistance to the change will be extraordinary. They will
I honestly thought an octopus only had eight tentacles.
Well,
these ones seem to have about 100.
Well, they're genetically modified, aren't they?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. You've got a seed and pesticide company producing bees.
Yep. And it's one of the biggest companies in the world, which has some of the most powerful lobbyists. Sorry, we spoke over each other then.
Yeah. Sorry, that was me.
Yeah, just saying.
Sorry, you say.
Yeah, they've got some of the most powerful lobbyists in the world, some of the most powerful lawyers in the world, and they aren't afraid to use them.
Hayden. Justice Hayden. There you go. There's someone in Big Pharma's pocket.
Yep. Well, you know, once they control the judges on the court, laws seem to go in their favour, don't they? Rulings seem to go in their favour. So you can see more corruption, and that's through big business, through big food companies, big food production companies, holding the reins of politicians and just riding them around Washington or London. Do as we say, or else.
They swan round like they're immune to everything.
Well, they believe that cash and money and power makes them immune.
How very wrong.
How very, very wrong. Yep. Because once the
These
truth...
people are stupid.
Well, who's more of the fool? The fool or the fool that follows the fool?
The fool that follows.
Yep. Yep. But the grand awakening, the big awakening, the truth is coming out there. Drip by drip, drop by drop, breadcrumb by breadcrumb. We are starting to shed light on the corporatocracy. We're starting to shed light on the secret societies or societies with secrets. We are starting to shed light upon the corruption in government, in our legal systems, in just going to the chuffing shop and buying a packet of bacon. We are seeing the corruption, and we're seeing that things are not right. Something is wrong everywhere you look. And
but there has been thousands of resignations and
people rats leaving the sinking ship,
walking out of like pharmaceutical places, and like scientists and all of these sorts of people have been walking out of these big companies and all been fired.
But that seems a lot more across the water. That seems a lot more across the water than it does here in tiny little UK.
There's been a lot in the UK or Europe within certain places. Just not enough. No. Because our side is so dirty and so corrupt that it's hard to get through to them.
Well, yeah. It's hard to pull on the reins. It's hard to say, whoa, what you fucking doing? You're not doing this no more. Yeah. Where they're just charging on, stampeding, head forward, straight off into the frigging dystopian future that they want.
They have a completely different idea to life than what we do. Even the average Joe.
Yeah, because how many of these political elites, the deep state, have actually done a proper day's work in their life? How many have spent their career?
Probably not many.
Yeah. How many have probably spent their career making the tough decisions to sack people, to ruin people's lives, to strip people of their assets and strip people of their businesses? How many of them do you think have been doing that most of their life? It's going to squiff you. A lot of them. Yeah, it's going to squiff your mentality up. It's going to squiff up your psyche, where you'll see this destruction of life, destruction of normality, as the norm, as what you're supposed to do as a job, which has to end.
It is their job, actually, or more like their hobby.
Well, how can you sleep at night if you're not getting a kick out of it? How could you sleep at night if you're not getting a kick out of stripping someone of their business and their assets? you couldn't have any empathy towards that person. You couldn't, or else you wouldn't be able to sleep. You know, even if,
Like a lot of people, no moral compass. Or their moral compass is twisted. They don't know where they're at.
well, and a lot of their goals and ambitions will take, let's say, nefarious means to get them, dodgy means to get them. And they still have these goals and these ambitions.
They're Luciferian Satanists. That's what they are.
Yeah. And if they want the second coming of the Antichrist, then there you go. That's what they want. That's their goal. That's their ambition. And that's what they're striving towards. They're striving towards a world that life is worthless. Like life is just another digit, another number. You have your barcode. That is you. It's what they're striving for, isn't it? And you can see it getting more and more obvious. You can see that through even their bureaucratic bodies like the EU. They are trying to get rid of human nature. Can I put it that way? They're trying to get rid of empathy. So where it is,
yeah, very much so.
Where it is just
me.
me.
You could look at the EU as a template of the New World Order. That and China.
I was going to say that as well. China's been their testing ground.
Korea and Iran.
Yeah, their testing ground for a long time. This China, where they're able to test their social constructions to see whether they're
not only that
work.
they turned China into the industry of the world. So everything comes from China.
Yeah, make us very dependent.
That's what they tried to do.
Make us
China dependent.
Yeah, make us China dependent.
Chinese people are slaves, and then the rest of us are slaves as well.
Yeah,
but for a different purpose.
I
couldn't tell you what that purpose may be. I have a few ideas, but I'm not going to speculate on them. But you know.
Yeah, well, you see, we just mentioned China. I think the Chinese street markets where they're selling insects and, scorpion on a stick. That's more healthy than going and buying Mr. Kipling's cakes at Tesco.
They're spring rolls in the streets and pancakes and stuff like that. Amazing as well.
Well, yeah. This is their street food. China, yes, went through a time where starvation was rife, where you would have to eat the dog on the street because you had nothing to eat that week. You would have to eat the bugs. You'd have to eat them because there's nothing else. So they developed this culture of, anything can be food. We'll eat it. But, I've not been to China. I've not seen what's in their supermarkets and things like that. But will they be buying this sort of stuff? Would they be buying Mr. Kipling's pies and cakes when they're full of E numbers, full of additives, full of sugars?
Not really.
No, they're not going to be doing that.
They do have their own type of
Mr. Kipling
cakes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They don't have nothing like any Mr. Kipling kind type of cakes.
No.
They're strange
Chinese cakes. Yeah.
But some of them are quite nice.
I bet they are. But, if a Chinese person that, had just escaped him from the factory, we brought him over to England and we gave him Mr. Kipling's French fancy, he'd be bouncing off the walls. There's that much sugar in it. He'd take one bite and go, whoa, blooming heck, that's sugary. And get on a sugar.
He has to brush his teeth.
Yeah, I get on a sugar rush and a sugar crash because I don't think they'd be used to that sort of diet. I think even
it's not their culture.
No.
But even like They have like street sweet stalls. And one of them's like made out of just pure honey.
God, that'll be good for you. That'll be really blooming good for you.
And it's like dipped in corn flour and they make it really, really thin and stringy. And yeah, it looks quite nice.
I've got quite a lot of experience with the Mediterranean diet, and it's really blooming healthy. There's fruit and veg shops on every street. There's bread shops, proper bread shops where they make proper bread on every street. There's no reason to go to the supermarket and buy shite off the shelves when you can physically go to the shop and buy the ingredients that you need for that meal that day on your street. Instead of having to go to the shop once a week, stock up on loads of crap and shite, and keep it in your cupboards for a week whilst you deliberate whether to eat it or not. That's how I used to.
And they don't go to McDonald's or ordering takeout.
Yeah. Oh, the takeaway culture of this freaking island. Oh, it really annoys me. The takeaway culture.
They really do not know what they're eating.
No, they don't. They don't know where it's come from. They don't. Oh, one of the main things that I'd do before I ate in a restaurant was go and have a look around the back. That's just me personally, because of being a chef and knowing the ins and outs of a restaurant. I know that if they keep the back clean, guess what? 9 times out of 10, the kitchen will be clean. They'll have proper food hygiene standards. Go and have a look around the back of your takeaway next time. You'll see the floor will shine with grease. Go in and actually have a look at the actual kitchen and the preparation areas in these takeaways. No. And even then, they'll have the chicken won't be like chicken from the butchers. It'll be chicken from like frozen chicken, or mass-produced battery hen, steroid-fed shitty chicken.
Or you could send off your food sample, some of your food as a sample, and have it tested and see what it actually is.
Yeah. Donkey kebab. I wonder if it is. Yeah.
I'm thinking more of the Homo sapien type.
Oh, well, there was that case, and I think it was in Blackpool.
13-year-old girl?
Yeah. Brutally murdered, brutally raped, chopped up and sold to the unwitting customer. But all the evidence was there, but no conviction. Yeah.
Utterly disgusting.
There's stories around here of it being cat catchers going out catching people's cats. And then putting...
In America?
Yeah.
McDonald's in America? They were serving, in certain states, serving human meat.
Well, there's that frigging restaurant we talked about on last episode that actually does...
Cannibal Club?
Yeah.
In California?
In California. Actually does sell human meat. Fresh!
Katy Perry loves
human meat. Yeah. Fucking disgusting. And how can people not burn that place down?
Fresh as well.
Yeah.
Fresh.
How can you not?
They don't know where it is. It's an undisclosed location.
Oh. Well, there's enough paparazzi people fucking following Katy Perry around, isn't there? One of them's going to find it, isn't there? Some actual investigative journalist.
They're in there with them.
Oh.
They're all in bed with each other, literally.
Yep. Yeah. And you see...
These people are sick.
You see that witch woman that does all the spirit cooking?
Marina Abramovich?
Yep. And she's been having...
Marina Abramovich and John Legend.
Yeah. And they've been hosting parties with people-shaped cakes where you can eat people-shaped cake. How savoury. Oh.
Or have eaten your dinner whilst there's a head there in the middle of the table, and someone was actually employed for someone just to sit on a chair underneath the table with their head just in the table, where people could just look at them.
What, like, ooh, look at me, I'm eating you. Like friggin', what's his face? Hannibal Lecter style. Yeah. Well, that's what the world's coming to.
It's not what it's coming to, it's what it's been for a long time.
Actually, yeah, you're truthful on that one. It's only just coming to the surface now.
That's a good point. It's only just coming to the surface after how many thousands of years?
Yeah. And I'm saying it's only just
Romans were doing this.
It's only just coming to the surface because they thought they were going to win. They thought Hillary was going to win, so they let the guard down. And if Hillary did win, this would not be common knowledge. No.
Well, the one thing that they done was gave us the internet.
Well, that's the double-edged sword, isn't it? All the information's there.
Well,
However,
they built it for themselves.
Yeah.
Not for the public. But they had to make it public because they wanted to share information across the world. So it had to go public.
Yep.
So,
and if it didn't go public through their means and their method, it would have gone public another way. Because it is that sort of, it's not that simple, but it's
Tesla's idea. Wi-Fi was Tesla's idea.
Well,
I'm not saying internet was his idea, just Wi-Fi.
Transmitting data through frequencies. Yeah.
Or transmitting energy through frequencies. Yeah.
That's how he invented the harvester, the electronic harvester. It's not a frigging generator. It doesn't generate the energy. It harvests it. It's there. It's already there.
The energy is always there.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of magnetic energy. If you did, the Earth would just shatter. There'd be nothing to keep it together.
Gravity. But without its electromagnetic field, the Earth would not be the same.
There would be no Earth.
It wouldn't support life.
No.
Well, it might do. Might do, because it wouldn't support life as we know it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's probably a better way to put it, for sure.
And
talking about like the Earth, look how much of the Earth isn't used.
Well, I can look across the road and there's a bit that's not used over there. It's just a pile of freaking rubble.
Well, it's not even that, but it's more of like you've got the Middle East, just wasted the way it's being used, and then you've got vast amounts of like India, Pakistan, Africa, America, Iceland, Greenland, Russia. All of these places could be used for something.
Yeah, we do. We have the technology to have them growing food in these places.
Yeah,
we have the technology to do it.
Well. We don't have to have synthetic foods from these places. We could actually have natural foods.
Well, I think that's what the corporatocracy really wants. They want us all on synthetic food.
Not far off, are we?
Food that they own the key to.
Could you imagine knowing what you know now about food when you was a chef, full-time chef?
Well,
could you imagine how disgusted you'd be every day?
A lot of the
Unless
food,
if you worked in the right place.
yeah, a lot of the food that I worked with was good, genuine, good food. You know, proper fruit and veg that came from the fruit and veg man. He'd come and deliver it. You know, proper meat that would come from that were correct sources. But
You have like local farmer butchers.
Some of it was local, but the beef in Spain's not very good. So we would get that imported. But from a very good source.
That's what I mean. Even the meat, all meat, or a lot of meat, is
factory farmed.
Pumped full of crap.
Factory farmed. Yeah.
That's what I mean. But like, that's what I'm on about. Like, seeing that meat, knowing how it's produced now, you'd be like, I couldn't do it myself. I'm not going to lie. I couldn't do it now.
Well, I did cut my teeth in a sort of beding kitchen where it was all pre-packaged, premeditated, pre-thought out food that you just literally chuck it in the microwave and then chuck it on the plate. And yeah, serving that food was like, this is not what being a chef is. This is not,
isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not, I'm boiling some peas and that's about the only cooking that I'm doing. I'm frying some fish and that's about the only cooking I'm doing.
I can tell everyone now.
And even then, we'd have a
drinking pubs in the UK are all pre-packed foods.
Yep.
They do not cook anything from scratch.
Even the batter on the fish and chips is a pre-packeted thing.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of it just being flour and soda water or flour and beer, no. It's a pre-packaged package of flour with additives. Oh, yeah. You know. But
some places even buy the liquid stuff where they shake it up.
Like a pancake mix.
Like a pancake mix. And they pull it into, what do you call it? A tub. And then they can dip it. Oh, my Lord.
Yep.
Please.
Yeah, you can't even mix flour. We don't trust you enough as a chef to mix flour and water to make batter. We don't trust you that much. Yeah. You know, and not getting at them. It's a job. Job's a job, but it's part of the corporatocracy, and it's part of the, how can I put it? The endemic changing culture, where you think you're going to a pub to have a nice pub lunch, when you're not. You're eating bedinged crap, pre-packaged, formulated, additive stuffed crap.
Mm-hmm.
And you're being convinced somehow that it's a worthy meal. You know, I don't like getting at people for going and doing these and going and eating at these places, but it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult.
Yourself. Don't do it as much because there's not good for you.
Yeah,
as such, to do it often. Just I would say don't.
Well, you see,
don't do it as often. Try an alternative lifestyle instead of a diet.
Yeah, there's the bastardized thing to do in life as well now, which you'll see a lot of people getting obese from, which is they will wake up in the morning, have the breakfast and a coffee or something, get in the car, drive to work, maybe maybe take the elevator up 2 flights of stairs, sit down, tippy tap, 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 tap on a computer, talk to a few people. They'll get half an hour for lunch. So they'll go out, they'll get a quick McDonald's or a fast food takeaway or some shite, or some Greggs or some shite. Walk back, or even drive back or drive there, sit at the desk, do fuck all, tippy tap, 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 tap on the computer, talk to some people, go home, sit in front of the telly, eat more food, eat more shite food. that are just dinged in the microwave, and repeat, and repeat, and repeat, and repeat. What, we're supposed to see that as a normal, healthy lifestyle, as a normal way to live? Come on, that's just. And I've seen it on adverts. I think it might have been a Subway advert where it literally put this into video form. Where it was some guy getting up, doing his morning stuff, going to work, sitting there, doing nothing, going to and just repeating and repeating and repeating. And he went, "Oh, have a change, have a Subway." It's like, no, you're doing exactly the same freaking shite, just replacing the homemade sandwich with a frigging Subway crap sandwich.
We're not, because I cook all the time for work. And people sit there and they're having their McDonald's or their £1 microwave meals or
the Rustler's burger.
Or, yeah, something like that, yeah. And they're like, "Oh, Glenn, your food always smells and looks so good." I'm like, taste it too. My body loves it.
Well, that's the thing about...
My body laps up the goodness. And like, most of the time I have different style burritos because burritos are really good, like easy to have whilst at work. Especially when you're homemaking. And you can put anything in a burrito. There's no set thing to a burrito.
No.
It's just rice and filling.
Rice, filling, and the wrap. You can have whatever filling you want. You know? I reckon you could even sweeten it. You could even have a sweet burrito. Just putting that there.
You definitely could.
Yeah.
You definitely could.
You definitely could. But, yeah.
I haven't found a way, but I think I might try.
Well, if you the tortilla, it's got to be sort of a sweeter tortilla because that's just quite a savoury part. Your rice, you can make sweet rice easily. And, yeah, honey, jam, peanut butter. I got some good peanut. Well, it's not like good peanut butter. It's unsugared peanut butter, organic unsugared peanut butter. And I'm like, that's going to make a banging sauce. It's not really good on a sandwich, but it'll make a good sauce.
Almond butter.
But
almond butter is lovely.
But there's something else about being a vegan. You know, there isn't any sort of fast food thing you can go and do. There isn't that. You've made it, so there isn't the easy option. If you know what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
You can eat a banana. Woo! But no.
Oh, I love banana. I love fruit. I love fruit and veg. In all honesty, and it's not like, for me as a vegan, it's not like it's just for the animals or anything like that. It's first and foremost, it's for my health. Although I am against 99% of manufacturing of food. Only
because it's been done on such a vast scale now. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, we should have more like independent. Like, our farmers should also be our butchers.
Yeah, there should be a more practical food chain.
Capitalism instead of corporatism.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. More capitalism instead of corporatism, because local businesses, corporatism is basically local businesses building up and becoming wealthy from the ground up. That's what capitalism is. Anyone can become a capitalist.
Yeah.
Literally anyone. But no one can be
a corporatist.
Not everyone can be a globalist or a corporatist.
No, you can't.
So it's trying to get that more self-sustained country. If your country can't sustain itself, then you're done.
Yeah, you're having to rely upon others, and others that don't give a damn about you aren't going to give a damn about you.
Exactly. And that's not saying your neighbours can't help you out. Like we would, like, oh, can I borrow some sugar, or can I get some lentils until tomorrow or something like that?
Or even, I've made too much. Would you like some?
Yeah. It's that sort of thing. Like, so every nation is going to have a product that they're going to be over of.
Yeah.
Because not all the time their nation needs all of this product.
Spain ain't going to need that many oranges.
Yeah, and that's when you can then sell to other countries and that.
Yeah.
But don't just make that one country solely an orange-dependent nation. I'm kind of paraphrasing, using an example.
Yeah.
They use nations to individually produce stuff.
Well, the EU does, especially. You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at on that. But then you got like how America used to be.
Different
a lot
states.
Of the stuff would come from Mexico and South America and stuff like that.
Oh no, you'd have different states that were more enclosed with, you know, the California would be the orange state and the wine producer. Then you'd have Texas with all the moo cows making milk and making beef and steaks and stuff. And then you'd have, you know, Florida would also be a massive orange country, but they all work together using each other's strengths to help better the entire nation. But yeah, it's all turned now corporate. It's all turned corporate. So it would be the one corporate beef producer in Texas taking all of the beef and selling it all over the United States and being the only ones to make the real money off it. Same with the oranges, same with the wine. There's very little competition anymore. Once you get into corporatism, competition is null and void. Because
unless if it's an illusion of.
Yeah, well, which it is in the Monopolies Commission. It really, truly is just a illusion, an absolute illusion. Oh, we'll slap a company on the wrist this year for maybe having a bit too much of a market share. We'll slap them on the wrist a bit. They can still freaking do whatever they want, but there's £1 million fine. What do you do? You're making trillions a year. Or you'll have to sell this little bit of your company to that conglomerate over there. Okay, we'll sell that little bit of our thing over to that conglomerate over there. We're still a massive conglomerate, and they might sell us their little bit, and we'll just swap little blocks here and there. That's fine. We'll spread our monopolies rather than just having a sole single monopoly. And actually, that works a lot better for us as corporations as well, because it means we've got more fingers in more pies. And unless we can show profit and progress, we're not winning anymore as a corporation. Every corporation has to show its shareholders profits or progress. And it's turned now into, right, so we can substitute that ingredient with this cheaper, crapper alternative that's not really been market tested, not really been proven, and it's scientifically proven to make things worse, but it's cheaper. So we'll put that in there instead of this one, and then our profits are up. Way profits!
And we'll have the good stuff.
Yeah.
That's how they live. They feed us the crap and their heads are the good.
Oh, well, wasn't it the owner of McDonald's or the owner of KFC that said he'd never take his kids to fucking eat there?
One of them, but yeah, I remember someone saying it, yeah.
Oh, I'd never take my kids to eat there. Or that dude that lived off McDonald's. The dude that lived off McDonald's for 30 days and almost died. That was just, you know, a massive wake-up call. But why hasn't the call been hit? Why hasn't the call been heard? If you live off McDonald's for 30 days, you will die. Why would you want to eat that for just one day? Oh. Yeah.
Enough is enough.
Well, it's... it's just annoying because we can tell the people. We can tell the people till we're blue in the face. Sadly,
no one wants to listen.
none of them want to listen. None of them want to actually change, to physically change yourself, your behaviour, your ideologies, change the world. Because if everybody changes, the world changes, no matter what. If we change, we can make the world a better place. It's just the people. It's a hard thing to do, is change, to adapt, to evolve, to change. It's a difficult thing to do. It's a difficult thing that takes character to uphold. It takes a chuffing sight of character to say, no, I'm not going to do that because of this, this, and this. I'm not going to do that. But it's there right in front of you. It's the cake on the table. Oh, there's a cake on the table. Do I eat it? I know it's going to make me ill, but it tastes so nice. But there's still a cake on the table. Do I eat it? Oh, I'll just dip my finger and have some icing. You know, it's going to get you in the end if you don't have the character and the will to stop it.
Is when people say, I'm going on a diet. And then a couple of weeks later,
I'm drinking Diet Coke. Ah!
Yeah. But not only that, like when people are on diets and like they have cake and stuff, they'll have a cake and stuff like that and say, "Oh, I'm having a bad day today, so I'm just gonna have some today." Diets can be broken. Guess what? It is a lifestyle change. Literally, that's all people have to change is that word from diet to lifestyle change, and things become more positive and easier to.
Diet is a punishment word. People use it as a punishment word. I am on a diet. Yeah, I'm punishing myself. Yeah, I'm not going to stick to this diet because it's a punishment, and I see it in my heart, in my mind, and in my subconscious as a punishment. Whereas a lifestyle change is, right, come on, I'm going to change my lifestyle. I'm going to be productive and a positive thing to strive for. It's perception.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it's about perception, you know. And talking about perception, how much has our perception been diverted, skewed, been pointed in the wrong direction? You know, Subway is the healthy option for your dinner. Really? Really? No, it's not. But this whole escapade around diets is, if you change that burger for a sandwich, might be a little bit better, but it's not going the whole hog. You know, I'm one of these lucky people. I've never ever had to go on a diet. I don't ever intend. I think I will do, because I'm one of the lucky people that can eat whatever the chuff I want and get away with it. However, I don't. I do eat healthily, and I don't particularly do much exercise anymore. But something I need to do, because a lot of people with their diets don't conjoin it with proper exercise. They go, well, I'm on a diet, but I'm still going to drive my car to work, take the elevator up the stairs, sit at my desk for 4 hours, go to the break room, eat some carrots and lettuce as a punishment, and then sit at my desk, and then drive my car home and sit in front of my telly.
And guess what? None of them are happy.
No.
Because the diet's not working.
Well, how much exercise are you doing to cut? Yeah.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the thing. And if I said to someone, you need to stop having these diets and have a lifestyle change, otherwise you're not going to be able to do it. They'll be like, what do you mean a lifestyle change? You have to change your lifestyle. It's not a quick, easy thing. This is a long-term thing where you have to do it forever.
Yep.
Right? So it's a lifestyle change. You have to change your lifestyle.
Oh, but people don't want to, and people can't. Sadly, it's part
people think they can't.
No, it's part of the human psyche. Some people, just can't change. Believe me on that one.
Okay,
some people just can't.
So it's not human psyche.
Yeah.
It's just that some people have no capability or willpower.
Yeah, well, that's still part of the human psyche.
Because human psyche would indicate all human.
What I'm saying is that some people have that in their psyche, in their human psyche. To be human is to be fallible.
You said that first, the human psyche. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, we've all got it. We've all got the human psyche.
Indicate all humans.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. That it's not everybody that has this part to their psyche. But what I'm saying is that not everybody can change.
Now, people are too stuck in that tornado. And that's not literally their lives.
And a lot of people with some part of their psyche and some part of their inner self, they can't change. We see this time and time again. We see it quite often that some people just have not got the capability to change.
But there's also the other side of the coin where they've also been fed that narrative of they can't change, they have to be that way.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
A smaller percentage of people can't change than think they can't change or are taught to thought that they can't change. There's very few that physically, emotionally, mentally cannot change. Whereas there's a lot more people in that sort of similar circle that can, but aren't willing.
It's
or have been taught that they can't.
Yeah, a lot of people just live inside their own mental prisons.
Well,
and there's a lack of critical thinking. I think you picked up on that. I think that was yesterday.
It'll be over one of the previous episodes, but yeah, I remember touching upon this.
I remember you saying that the lack of critical thinking amongst people.
Yeah,
people have a very short attention span, don't they?
It's not only the short attention span; it's the lack of character to question. To say, whoa, no, that's wrong. Everybody else is saying it's right. But I say it's wrong. You know, there's that experiment of the classroom where everybody in the classroom is a stooge and everybody in the classroom is answering the questions wrong. And the one person that's in the classroom doesn't want to stand out, doesn't want to be different, and starts answering the questions wrong on purpose, even though he knows he's right, but he's answering the questions wrong. You know, that's part of the sheepy mentality. You know, or if one person at a stadium stands up and starts walking out, 3 people will get up and follow him. Then 5 people will follow them, and 20 will follow them, and the sheepiness will start to lead.
The person who shows the most strength and projecting themselves. A lot of people just follow them. A lot of them won't even know why.
Well, that's it. You know, like I said, one person stands up, other people stand up, then everybody stands up.
Yeah.
Like if you're waiting for a train, someone looks at the clock. Oh, the train's due. I'm going to make my way to the front of the platform. And then the train's not there. There's no train. But everybody's gathering to where the train might be. The doors might be freaking 10 meters down the track to where you are, but you're still standing there waiting for the train because everybody else is doing it. And I think it's...
And 9 times out of 10, they are, aren't they, the doors?
Yeah. And I'm thinking that this does link back into food. Because there's so many people that eat the shite, that talk about eating the shite, that bring the shite to work and eat the shite in front of you, that it's very difficult to say, I don't eat that shite. Not because you want to say, I'm all high and mighty, I don't eat shite food. No, you're saying, well, no, I don't eat that shite because I know what's in it and I don't want that stuff going in my body. I'm not trying to preach to you. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm not trying to enforce my views upon you. All I'm trying to do is encourage you to think, what's in that food? Is that food secretly trying to kill me? Because it's gotten to that point nowadays.
Do you want to know the one that I get? Is smoking. People say to me, oh, look, you say all about all of this food, rah, rah. I was like, hang on, I'm not preaching to you now. I'm just explaining what the food actually is. And you can choose how much of it you want to consume.
Yeah. I'm simply...
If you choose to wish so.
I'm simply giving advice.
But you smoke, Glenn. But you smoke. You eat all this healthy and you say about Diet Coke being so bad for you, but you go outside and have a fag. I was like, hang on. Let's ask one question. Or two questions. If a person who smokes can run for an hour comfortably, would obviously be tired at the end of it because he's exhausted of the energy, but he's still run that full hour. And then you've got a person who eats takeaways and overweight and
put them on the treadmill next to you,
but doesn't smoke. Could they run for an hour straight? Guess how many people said that the non-smoker could?
No one. I wouldn't.
No one.
Oh,
and I was like, so who's in a better position? Someone who eats healthy and just has a cigarette every few hours, or someone who consumes rubbish food continuously? I was like, I could even ask the same question of someone who isn't overweight and still consumes rubbish food.
Yeah.
Could you run for an hour and they'd still say no? Do you want to know why? Because smoking isn't all that bad for you. Because when you're running, guess what? You need to hold a lot of oxygen.
Yeah, you know that's what
air inside your lungs, and you do that when you smoke. You inhale a lot of smoke, so your lungs expand. So when you're inhaling smoke, you're actually exercising. And I'm not saying that smoking's good for you.
No, it's not.
It's just not as bad as they say.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it's being portrayed as. Folks say the NHS now wants to say you're a smoker. We're not serving you. You can't have this operation because you're a smoker. That's absolutely fucking disgusting. Because, like we said, even David Beckham used to smoke 15, 20 fags a day, and being a freaking fit football player.
Directly before a football match, every football match, I'd probably have a good, healthy spliff.
Yep.
And I could still play a full game of football and on point. I played semi-professional, by the way.
Well.
And people were like, how can you do that? I was like, because it's not as bad as people think.
You should come up here. You'll get a place on Aki Stanley.
I'm doing other things to help me. So I'm eating right. I'm exercising. I don't abuse smoking. I just smoke.
There's a difference between someone who sits there chain smoking 40 cigarettes a day, 40, 60, 80 cigarettes a day, not moving off the sofa, to someone who smokes 4 or 5 a day, walks to work and back, plays football every other evening or once a week, and goes cycling.
Trains.
Goes cycling or goes to the gym. You know, totally different. Absolutely totally different. You know, if you're, and it's just been portrayed so negatively by the government, by the media. It's been turned into the boogeyman of health.
Well, it would help if, say, with the tobacco plant, they didn't pump it full of chemicals, because it's the chemicals that actually kill you. I don't think it's the actual plant itself. Well, because tobacco is a plant.
The thing is, the smoke, the smoke inhalation and the tar, there is going to be tar in it no matter what. There's going to be carbon monoxide as well because it's not properly burning. And that does have a detrimental effect on the lungs. However, that detrimental effect can be negated with decent exercise. You know?
A healthy lifestyle.
But are they going to start doing that soon? Have like a healthy lifestyle card, or track your body and track your movement so you can go to the shop and purchase your cigarettes. Because that's the more Orwellian the world is getting. They're getting more and more Orwellian. You're going to have your credit rating. That's going to dictate whether you can buy this or buy that. It's going to dictate how much you pay for on your mortgage. Oh, that's just your credit rating. Then what we're going to have, a society rating, a niceness rating, like they're trying in China at the moment. You know? You didn't do your
hour at voluntary service, so you can't go abroad for the next month.
Yeah. Or you haven't done your...
Or you can't go to the nail parlour and have your nails done.
Yeah. You haven't run it. You haven't
makeup.
You haven't walked for a mile today. You cannot eat that burger. But it's part of what they do. It's part of what the elites do, or the deep state does. They will introduce something that's bad for people and make them have it, push it. Or we've found out that this is bad for you, and we're going to have to start regulating it, pump the tax upon it. Or what we're moving more towards is you'll have to state earn it. You will have to earn it in some way, shape, or form by performing menial tasks for us or doing something to earn your treat. I can see it coming. And I can see them twisting it and selling it as a good thing because they're spin doctors.
We already live in communism, so they're only going to expand on communism.
Well, we live in a massive state. The nanny state, controls literally every aspect of life now.
Communism.
Yeah. But no, we're not. No, it's more fascism because we're not working for the state. We have no real national pride. We're not working for each other's benefits as a state.
No,
we're not working to make Britain great again. We're not doing that.
No, but
we're doing that for individuals.
The communism comes from the EU. Look at the EU and how it is. It's communism.
I'd say it's on the left. It's on the very far left. I'd say it's more fascism because it's more private companies being controlled and controlling rather than the state entity itself being the one in control and everybody working for that in a state.
Yeah, but the state are the deep state. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But anyways.
That's what I mean.
Let's just say it's far fucking left. Where the government controls.
It's that far left, it should be left behind.
Oh. It's that far left. It could not be right in any way, shape, or form. Yeah.
It should be left in history and forgotten.
We should have learned
Well,
our
this is the
lesson.
thing.
We should have learned our lessons by now. It's been over 100 years. Over the past 100
It's not
years.
even, it's been thousands of years, mate.
No, I'm talking about, you know, in particular, communism and the leftist state has really come into fruition and really come to popular knowledge over the past 100 years. And we've been learning from it. Well, we should have been learning from it, that the state will constantly go after more and more power and control. Constantly. No matter what they're doing, they're going to try to get more power and more control and fuck things up even more. Sorry for the language, everybody, but it really annoys me. But
well, another way they've messed it up even more is they've brought in all these legislations, but like, you have to have health and safety before you have to do this, rah, rah, rah.
That was part of Nazi Germany. That was part of Nazi Germany.
Common sense.
It's part of Nazi Germany because when they did it, guess what? They brought in the National Health Service and they brought in the National Workers' Union sort of thing to regulate the people. So it would give somebody a Nazi cohort, someone of the party, the right to go around and spy on everybody in their workplace and make sure that they're living up to regulations.
Socialism.
Yeah. And for crying out loud, yeah, I think
mixing in with some communism and corporatism. So it's a whirlpool of just badness.
Yeah, spazzyisms. Yeah, but yeah, back onto food because that is the topic for the show this evening, and we're gonna be rounding up soon. We're an hour and a half now, so yeah, we're gonna be rounding it up soon. So
we've got the Daily Brexit chaos tonight.
Is he coming on tonight?
Yep.
Oh, brilliant! I thought it was
in half an hour.
Excellent. So we'll keep the show running until we introduce that show. We'll give him a plug and everything, like we're plugging now. Plug. Yeah, I would be posting on the page, but as I've said many times, I get banned from Facebook. I think I'm definitely thinking of throwing Facebook away completely. And if enough people change and throw Facebook away as well, hopefully Facebook will go away and be forgotten about completely. But even in the court cases now, there's been, the court cases where he wasn't under oath, so there's no freaking point in him being there whatsoever. But he's had to admit that they're spying on you. He's had to admit that they're using your data for nefarious reasons. They're selling it and they're making a buckload of money out of your personal data, which they said they never would do. But people are still going, I'll use my Facebook. Ooh. Even though they know. Even though it's now common knowledge that it's a spy tool. And it's detrimental to you as a person. And it's addictive. And it causes screen sickness. And they knew it would. And but still, it's the biggest platform. It's still the way to spread the word. Even though you are put in echo chambers, even if you are shadow banned, even if you are fully 30-day banned, it's still the biggest platform to get the word out there. Yeah. We need some people. We need to start sharing these videos onto Facebook to see if we can get the people from Facebook onto YouTube and seeing things this way, or onto DTube, because I'm doing things through DTube at the moment. I want to start using BitChute. I'm not sure if you can go live on BitChute yet, but I'm going to give it a try over the weekend. And maybe get back into it on Monday. Yeah. Well, I say let's go back into food, and then I'll go off on a tangent somewhere. Yeah. But
you need to live a more healthier lifestyle. Everyone does.
We've got to make the simple changes. Every day, change, a little bit of change. Every little day, you can do a little change. Your life's going to get a darn sight better. If you can go to the fruit and veg market and get some fruit and veg from there, instead of going to Tesco's or Aldi's or Lidl's, If you can go to your local butcher maybe once a week and get your Sunday roast from him, you're going to start making these progressive decisions that will benefit your life. If you can say, well, no, I'm going to make my own sandwich to take to work today, instead of going out and buying a Subway or buying some McDonald's or buying a Greg's. A, you're going to save yourself in the wallet, and B, you can save yourself in the gut as well. So it's just tiny little changes that you need to make. You don't have to go around being all high and mighty. Oh, I've made this change. Oh, look at me, aren't I healthy? But, you know, if somebody does see you eating your own sandwich or seeing you eating your own meal at work, they're going to start thinking, oh, well, yeah, they're doing that now. Well, yeah, well, I might start doing it too. And things will spread that way. Or instead of going to these takeaway places or ordering a takeaway,
make your own pizzas.
Make your own pizza. You know, I know that maybe going to the shop and buying a pizza base is an easy way out, which it is. Which is, you know, it's a good start way. It's a good stepping stone on the path. Because if you get the pizza base, you can put your own tomato sauce on it that you can make yourself. You can put your own ingredients upon it, and some more natural sort of cheese rather than this stuff that they put on it from the frigging factory that it comes out of. You'll start to get a bit better. And then one day you might think, well, I've got an extra 10, 15 minutes today. I'm going to get the flour out of the cupboard, put some water in it, put some oil in it, put some salt, pepper into it, boom, 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 and make a dough. And I'm going to squish the dough out. And I'm going to put the tomato and the garlic and all the stuff on that. Put that in the oven. 10 minutes later, maybe 15, depending how big it is. Boom, you got a pizza. Guess what? It's cost you less than £1. It's like cost you less than the pizza base in its entirety. You're going to have a healthier wallet. You're going to have a healthier gut. You're going to start seeing a positive change in your life. And that's just a simple thing like a pizza. If you start making your own proper sauces instead of getting the ragu or the dolmios out of the jar. Cripes, I know it's a tin of tomatoes, but it's a lot healthier than the dolmio. And what have you got to do? Fry some onions and garlic, put the tins of tomatoes in, salt, pepper, herbs. You got a nice tomato sauce. You can zhuzh it up with other things as well if you like. But it's not that difficult. 10 minutes. And then guess what? You'll be able to store that sauce for a couple of days. You know, well, they're not a food cooking show. I could make my own little cooking show for you all if you want it. Send us some comments if you want a little cooking show as well. Yeah. But it's little changes. You know, it's not like Glenn says, it's not an entire lifestyle change you need to make. But little changes to your lifestyle, little changes go a long way. Because once you start to put that little change into place, you'll start to want to find another little change that you can make. And then you'll have two little changes. And gradually, it'll move along and progress. And you'll get into a state where your entire lifestyle has changed through little tiny baby steps. And you're going to pass that lifestyle change on to your children. How many times do you see these fat, morbidly obese parents walking around Tesco's or Asda's or something with a shopping trolley full of Diet Coke, with a podgy little kid waddling along behind them, with a chocolate bar in the mouth going, Mammy, Daddy, give me some sweeties. You know, their lifestyle choice and their lifestyle has passed on to their children. And guess what? Without massive change or the lots of little tiny changes to that child's life, it's going to pass on to their children. It's probably going to get worse. And the future's malleable. We can change the future. All we need to do is start making little changes ourselves. Little changes make big changes. Big changes change the world. And this world needs changing.
Boycott Colgate and all of those others and go and get some decent toothpaste without fluoride.
Yeah, I've been trying to find Arm & Hammer. Can't find it though. That was bicarbonate.
That has fluoride in it.
Does it? Bollocks.
Yeah.
I thought that was the only mass-produced one that didn't contain fluoride.
No.
No, it does. Bagger. Yeah. Oh, and as it says on the packet, don't brush children's teeth with this.
Even child's toothpaste has fluoride in it.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to dumb us down. They're trying to make us stupid. It's what they're trying to do. They don't want us to be smart. That's why they're feeding. That's the big why. That's the big reason why. They want us to have a crap diet. They want us to brush our teeth with fluoride and drink fluoride and chloride to put halogens into the brain. They want us to breathe in aluminium. They want us stupid or they want us dead. It is that simple. And once you can see those two major goals, work back from them. You start to work back from them goals and you'll start to see the world for what it truly is. I know it's sounding a bit, under the weather, a bit negative, a bit dystopian, but it's the world we live in. Once you take off the rose-tinted glasses, you'll start to see that they don't want intelligent people. They don't want people to question them. They don't want that. It's the last thing they want. Because as soon as you start questioning them, they start to fall apart. They have not got the answers for you. They've run out of lies. And the food is one of the major ways to assault the people. You see, what was it? Oh, darn it. Oh, yeah. Cancer research posters. Have you seen the cancer research poster that says obesity is one of the main causes for cancer? Whereas I'm quite knowledgeable in the fact that it's not the obesity. It's the fact that they're eating processed shite. It's the fact of all the chemicals that are in the foods that are making them fat, that are making them stupid, docile, and carcinogenic. That's actually giving these people cancer. The more you eat the processed food, the more likely you're going to get cancer. That's the balance here. That's the scales. Not eating lots of food and being fat and you get cancer. It's eating lots of crap food that's processed and full of additives and full of chemicals that's going to give you cancer. You can quite happily sit there and eat ball after ball after ball of bacon fat and get huge. And guess what? You're not going to get cancer. You can sit there and eat hydrogenated fat, eat additives, eat carcinogens, and eat the processed food and get fat. And guess what? You're going to get cancer. You can do that with quite good exercise. And guess what? You can still get cancer. Because you're putting all these toxins into your body and you're not getting them out in any way. They're going to sit there, they're going to ferment, they're going to make into the cancer ball. And once that starts, it's very difficult to get rid of. But, they even say that lemon peel, lemon zest, and lemon is very anti-cancer. It can stop and kill and beat cancer from lemons. It's yeah, I've not seen any proven data, but I'd rather have that than chemo. But we're getting back to the cancer point there then. But that's what a lot of these processed foods and a lot of these things are actually doing to people. You'll see the numbers of cancer patients skyrocketed over the past 3-4 decades. Why do you think that is? Because of the food that's being produced. Because of the way that it's being... Oh, now we can move on to GMO. Because I'm not sure if Monsanto and their GMO foods are being grown in this country. I've got a good suspicion they are. Because it's Monsanto. And it's a big chuffing company. And yes, we're getting our skies sprayed. But you hear the horror story of Monsanto in India. And that's a testing ground for them. A lot of people in India are dying of cancer because of Monsanto crop. A lot of people in America are suffering and dying because of GMO crops, Monsanto crops. And they know it. And they're still doing it. And they're spreading even farther and wider. And nobody's stopping them. What's going on? And not only is the problem, well, one field of GMO crops is it's all the pollen from these GMO crops getting into the normal crops and becoming a world pandemic of GMO sullied food. And a lot of the third world countries are actually healthier than our first world countries because they don't have the processed food. I know they're probably going to be attacked by Monsanto. Africa's probably a country that's definitely been attacked by Monsanto. And it's probably going to start having higher cancer rates because of that. But they don't have the massive food conglomerate producers. You know, they can still go out and about and hunt and get a deer or get an antelope and eat that in some parts of Africa, I believe. But they're not getting the prepackaged beding meal crap that we get force fed. So in some aspects, yeah, they got it a bit better than us. But in other aspects, they're going to be led down the path of GMO crop because they're cheap, because they can be controlled, and because their narrative is so easy to control there. It's, yeah, oh, this company's come in and this company's going to grow all this food for you. Are you going to turn it down when you're a starving African? You're not. Mm-hmm. You're not going to turn it down, and they're going to go there. They're going to be producing your food. You're not going to see the links to cancer for 10 to 15 years, and then it's going to slap you in the face that millions of people a year are dying from cancer now. Oh, I wonder why that is. Oh, we've done our research, and it's them. It's Monsanto, but they grow all your food. What are you going to do? You can't rise up against the people that grow all your food, or else you're going to starve. What are you going to do? Because the deep state, they know that one of the keys to life and one of the keys to civilization is agriculture. Was one of the first cornerstones of society was agriculture. Was people growing a surplus amount of food and being able to take that to market, develop society. And it's one of the linchpins of our society is our food web and our food market and food. We all have to eat. And if they can control that, they can control the populace. So not only can they control the food that we produce and the food that we eat, and the food that we buy, they control the money and the exchange mechanism for buying said food, for producing said food. So they control all the banking as well. So they control us through that medium. Oh, and they control everything. Absolutely everything. You get sick. You get ill. They control who and what serves you, gets you better. what treatment you can have. Deep state controls it, because I'm pretty sure that if someone like, I don't know, Tommy Robinson got ill and couldn't afford, well, he can, but went to an NHS hospital, do you think he'd get the same service as somebody else? Or do you think they'd purposely, what's the word, discriminate against him? Because he doesn't hold the state value. He doesn't hold the state narrative. He goes against the state. As his book says, the enemy of the state. But it's a tangled web they weave. And food is only one of the cornerstones of it. Like I said, they've got a lot more tentacles and a lot more pies. And they're willing to sacrifice a pie or two to make sure that they can keep the rest of them for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've said this a couple of times, that I think they're willing to sacrifice money and the financial sector to make sure that they can gain and take complete and utter control. They're willing to sacrifice that. They're willing to, I reckon they're even willing to sacrifice food as long as they can maintain control of the people. Because once they've lost people's ability to produce their own food, they can turn the food, there will become a food switch which they can turn off and on. Oh, sorry, country, you've not been playing by our rules. We're going to turn the food switch off. You're going to see starvation, a period of starvation because you didn't follow the rules, little Ethiopians, little African country. Oh, you're not subjugated enough yet. We're going to turn off your food supply. Watch you all starve, and then you'll come back. Then you'll come running back to us with your cap in your hand, asking for a beg out, asking for a free handout to help you get back on your feet again, even though it was us that took your feet from underneath you. Yeah, it's a topic that has been quite high profile, but they've only tried to focus on the positive sides to it. Ooh, have a healthy diet. Ooh, eat organic food. La 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 la. Nice, happy promotion. Yeah. They've not actually gone, this food's killing you. This food's really, really, really bad for you. Do not eat this food. They've not gone, you're producing this food that's very harmful to people. Stop producing it. Stop producing the food in the first place like you do. And the people aren't going to be poisoned by it. It's you have to take the head off the snake. You do. You have to take the head off the snake. You have to stop it where it's being produced. It's like the drugs. It's like cocaine or heroin. The police go after the small-time dealer that's on the street. That's doing nothing to the problem. Nothing at all. If you go after the frigging head of the snake, or you go bomb the freaking fields in Afghanistan, guess what? They're not being able to produce it anymore. The head of the snake is gone. You're not going to have the drug problem anymore. Done. 2 generations it'd take. 2 generations to destroy all the poppy fields. Just freaking salt the land. They will not produce opium anymore. Done. 2 generations later, nobody knows of opium anymore. Nobody knows of heroin anymore because it's not available on the streets anymore. It's not available. You can't get it. It's done. Game over. And there's better alternatives. You know? And it's almost what they're actually trying to do to the food chain. They're trying to destroy all natural heirloom crop to replace it with the Monsanto crop. So in 2 or 3 generations' time, all we know is Monsanto crop. It's become part of not history, but part of society, where your plant will only grow once, then you harvest it, and you can't take the seeds because the seeds won't grow, so you have to buy some more seeds and carry on like that. And that will be part of society, part of the society of food, the society food web. That will become a part of it. And it's only 2 or 3 generations away. But with Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, are we going to have these 2 or 3 generations to go ahead, to go forth with the population of the world? We're going to resist it as much as we possibly can.
It's got to be a one big head-on thing, hasn't it?
Well, there's the 2 ways about it. There has to be the chop the head off the snake, or you got to be able to defang the snake and cut it up into little pieces, manageable chunks. But then you still, the snake still produces poison and can fuck the whole thing up. So, yeah, the best way is to chop its head off. Have done with it. And then you can deal with the manageable chunks as it's led there dead. But it's the common goal, the common thing is we've all got to get together. We've all got to start making these little changes. And we've all got to push for the big change. Because if we all push for the big change together, the big change has got to happen. It's got to happen. Because they cannot stop it. If we all get together, it will be an unstoppable wave, an unstoppable tide of public opinion saying enough is enough. We know enough now to know what you've been up to. That we know that you've never had our best interests at heart, and you've got to change, or else we're getting rid of you. That's the only way about it. So
I think that's a nice segue into the Daily Brexit.
Yeah. So if everybody wants to jump over onto the Daily Brexit page, gov.ly/YT for the YouTube version, or you can log into Facebook and have a look at the Facebook version as well on Daily Brexit page. I'm sure that's got a quick link as well. gov.ly/FB or show or something like that. I'm not so sure. But yeah, we're going to have to leave everything over to Ollie now. Might even join in on his show as well. We don't know yet. So yeah, plug. Have a good show. All the best for Ollie. Good to see him back again. Back into the mix. And yeah, we'll hopefully bring you more shows from the Hive Mind over the next few weeks.
Thank you, everyone, for your views. Share, subscribe, and tell your friends.
Thank you, and goodbye.